Me? I always throw the first and last biscuit in a packet away without eating them.
Why?
Because the one at the top, it started when the one at the top is crumbly, so I used to throw that. Often it's got crushed, and then can't explain why the bottom one.
Do you mean you throw the bottom one away before you start eating them, or just when you get to the bottom one you throw it away?
All right, here's the packet of biscuits, OK? Take the top off with the little bit of stringy kind of wrapping.
Which actually reveals sort of 2 or 3
2 or 3 come away in it, in a quite a satisfying motion. The third one is normally relatively unscathed by its experiences during transit.
Which biscuits are we talking about?
I take those... Let me talk. I take them out... Suddenly I'm on Bill Turnbull's side. I take them out. The top biscuit is often damaged. I discard it. I then take...
Discard it? What, throw it away?
Throw it away in the bin. In the bin.
Waste it?
Or leave it all for the dog. I'll put it on the floor in the kitchen. Then, at the bottom, because I'm taking them out to put them in the biscuit jar...
Have you got a dog?
Yes, I have.
Ben, he's not going to say no now. He's quite good at this.
I've got a black lab.
Oh, very good.
Have you?
So,
Where you do black experiments.
then take the biscuits. I'm getting them out to put them into the clear Perspex Kellner jar, whatever it's called.
If you're worried about biscuits getting crushed and misshapen and crumbly, why do you put them in a biscuit jar?
Well, that's the safest place.
No, it's not. A packet is like a car park for biscuits. It's all perfectly, isn't it? If you put them in a jar, you're going to get exactly the kind of problem you're trying to avoid.
You think I'm putting them in the jar like this. I give my wife the jar at one end of the room. I then stand at the other end and go, "Are you ready?" That's not how I put them in here.
You take them out one by one and carefully place them in the bottom of the jar like a maniac.
No, David, I take them out and I slide them into the jar and they rest happily.
What biscuits are they?
Chocolate hobnobs, or ideally, the ones I don't have to do it with, because I only do it with the ones you take out, is the chocolate Leibniz, because they come in a box. They're usually unscathed.
You've just said that you give chocolate hobnobs to your dog. Chocolate is poisonous to dogs.
Have you not met his dog?
Well, now you mention he wasn't a black lab when we got him. He was a golden retriever.
So just to absolutely establish, you're taking out the biscuit, you're discarding it because it's crumbled. If it's not crumbled, you'll tend to throw it away, but not always. Then you'll slide them out like some sort of magician on your hand like that. You'll get the jar, you'll insert them in, unless it's a Leibniz, wherever the bloody hell they are. They go in, it comes off. There's one left, it's not damaged. Give it to the dog that used to be brown that's now black. That is what you're telling us is what's happening in your house. You're mental. Of course it's true. You think that's a lie?
I think it's a lie.
You're going to say lie?
Yeah. Go on then, I'll go with my team, say that's a lie.
Yeah? Lie. David?
Oh, yes, I think I can believe it.
Yes, I don't like the broken biscuits on the end.
Yeah.
So what are you saying?
So we'll say true.
You're saying true, right. Yeah. You say true, you say lie. Well, it's actually a lie. Kevin, you're next.
I once accidentally bought a horse.
Sorry? You bought a what?
A horse.
A horse. Sorry, I missed the S.
You claim that you once accidentally bought a horse. Am I right?
You're right.
Right, fine. We're all clear. Under what circumstances? What did you think you were buying?
I never thought I was buying anything. I thought I was renting.
Did you think you were renting a horse?
Yes.
Right. So you paid to rent a horse, and then at the end, when you tried to return the horse, they said, "What the hell are you doing? I've been trying to get rid of Psycho for years."
That's pretty much it.
How long had you imagined that you were going to rent it for?
We thought we were going to rent it for like 25 minutes.
And did they charge you?
It was in Bulgaria on holiday.
OK, so what did it cost in local Bulgarian currency?
What is the local Bulgarian currency?
It was...
We're going to
It was
lose.
200 lev. Lev, L-E-V. I don't know how you pronounce it, but lev.
200 lev. And
200
how
Bulgarian.
much is that in sterling, roughly?
Roughly, I think
At the time?
I think it was at £90. So we thought it was a good deal.
£90 for 25
For
minutes.
25 minutes on a horse.
But you said we thought we were going to rent it for 25 minutes.
There was me and my friend.
So you
It
were
was a
going to...
lad's holiday, we were 18, we thought we'll go horse riding.
In Bulgaria.
In Bulgaria.
Did you question the odd sort of time slots they were going for?
No,
I've never been pony trekking, but I imagine they sort of rent you the horse for perhaps a couple of hours.
Oh,
or at least a solid half hour.
You get 25 minutes and then the horse needs a break for 5 minutes and then somebody
And then
else
you keep
comes.
the horse forever.
Well, I never knew that.
What happened when you tried to take it back?
The guy explained to us that the guy was gone. The guy...
Never say the phrase on this game. The guy explained to us that he'd gone.
Well, there was two.
Never say that.
There was two different guys. There was two guys.
Go through me if you want to speak to my client.
There was guy A. Guy A.
That's a Bulgarian name.
Very well known. The most famous Bulgarian name.
Guy Dimitri. I think that... No, a guy A. And guy B. Right? We thought we were going horse riding and we were heading towards the place where you actually hire the horse.
Stables?
The official... the stables, right?
Honestly, even I think he's making it up, and I'm on his team.
Bit of patience, Brian, come on. Right. We met a guy on the way who had a horse, and we thought he was doing that thing, in Asda, when you've got a shopping trolley, and you're taking it back, and somebody else needs a trolley, and you say, "Do you want this one?" So we thought the guy was saying,
I don't need to go all the way to the actual stable. I'm from the stable, so just hire this horse.
That's what the guy said?
Yeah.
So we thought, all right, there was a bit of a communication breakdown. There was a Bulgarian guy trying to speak English and two Scottish guys trying to speak English. So we thought the guy had gave us the horse to ride and come back in 25 minutes.
Were you not surprised? I mean, I've never been on holiday to Bulgaria, but I imagine that things would be a bit cheaper in Bulgaria than in Britain. Were you not surprised that it cost you the equivalent of £90 to hire a horse for 25 minutes?
It was 25 minutes each, so there was two of us.
Yeah. Right.
So we chipped in for a horse. For 25 minutes each.
But still, even if you thought you were going to get 25 minutes each, that's a lot, isn't it?
Oh, it's an hour. You need to give the horse a break, as I said.
Let's forget about the 25 minutes.
Just forget about the horse.
Let's forget about the horse.
That's absolutely, obviously bullshit. You take the horse back. Guy B, who's the guy you met on the way to the stables...
He's gone.
He's gone.
He's
no
gone.
sign of him.
No, he's gone.
So you say to Guy A, well, we hired this as part of your not bothering to actually go to the stables but getting it a few hundred yards away scheme. We hired this horse for 25 minutes at an extortionate rate. Nevertheless, here it is. And what did he say?
We went back to the place where we picked up the horse.
Oh, so not to the stable,
no,
but to the random
never got
point in the road. 100 yards from the stable. So you, bewilderedly, where has the mysterious man gone? I would have thought that logically, when you were returning it, having thought that it had come from the stable, but you'd been lucky not to have to walk to the stable before hiring it, you might nevertheless have thought, well, the stable's where it's got to go back to, rather than, well, Sodom, this is where we picked it up from, I'm not actually taking the stable. I'm going to stand here, 300 yards away from the stable, go, come over here! Come and get your own horse! At which point locals start waving, going, no! You keep!
Kevin, look at me. You're taking the horse back.
Look at me!
What happened next?
Come on, Kevin. Come on.
Right. So where are we taking off from?
You're taking the horse back.
Let's go back to the start.
Kevin Bridges, for the love of God, please tell us what happened.
Right. We bought a horse. We thought we'd rented the horse. We'd done the horse riding, took it back to the initial place we picked up the horse.
Yes.
Locals explained we'd went to a counterfeit horse guy. It wasn't the official horse riding stable.
This was a counterfeit horse. This wasn't a genuine horse. This was maybe two guys in a costume.
That would explain the 25 minutes.
Yeah.
I can't only do 25 minutes.
The giveaway was after 25 minutes, I won't win. Crack on, lads!
So, David's team. What do you think? Truth or lie?
I mean, the trouble with this game is it plays tricks with your mind. But I don't think it's true. You don't really.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
It's got to be a lie.
Got to be a lie.
Yeah.
Saying it's a lie. Right. So here we go. It really is.
Here's the moment.
This is more than any other episode I've done of this show. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Kevin Bridges, is it true or is it a lie?
It's true.
Unbelievable.
I developed a word association system to remember people's names, but gave it up when it backfired on me.
David.
What was the word association system?
Did I develop?
To help remember people's names.
It was
Jack, you've just got a bit of fluff on you.
Thank you very much.
Keep thinking, son.
What I do is I attach a quality to someone and then try and relate that quality to the person's name.
So, just for example,
so,
what would that be?
So, Jason Manford, if I think Jason and the Argonauts, and that would perhaps... And then next time I'll see you, I'll think... Argonauts will make me think of Jason.
What's Argonaut like about Jason?
For instance, Jason the Argonauts, I might therefore... J and Argonaut gives me Juggernaut.
Right.
And you look to me like a lorry driver.
Right.
So, therefore, I would think lorry driver Jason.
And then when you next meet him, you say, "Hi, Yorkie, how are you?"
It has been known to backfire.
Which is where we come to the hilarious backfiring anecdote.
Oh, that was a bad one.
Yeah.
We met someone on holiday, and his name was Charles, and he wore very big sunglasses, like only a blind person would wear. And so I thought, that's brilliant, Ray Charles, because I will remember. I remember from the sunglasses, and therefore I will get Charles. And then so next year when we go, I can confidently say, hello, Charles. But it didn't work because 12 months later, and you've slightly forgotten what you'd set up as a system. So he walks in, I go, hello, Stevie.
Where did you meet him? Where was it?
On the holiday.
Where was it?
In Holidayville.
Yeah.
Just in Dorset. It was in Dorset.
And what? So you were in a pub. You were in a pub, and he walked over, and you went, Stevie.
He came out. Yeah, it was the following year, and I saw him again.
Did he live round there?
Where were you sat?
No, he was a fellow holiday maker.
So, and you developed a sort of mild acquaintanceship with a man whose name you could barely remember, but
yes.
Planned to holiday with him again.
No, there was no plan involved, David. We didn't get together and say, are you going to be here next year? Yes, are you?
But you obviously thought it was a possibility, because you already had a plan for remembering his name.
Oh, I perhaps didn't explain correctly that I'd seen him the previous year at the same place and not known his name.
So now it's 3 years on the
So for 3 years, you and Charles holidayed with metronomic regularity at the same place in Dorset. You kind of escaped
well, that's
the man.
not so unusual. People tend to frequent the same place for holidays.
Year one, you see him, but you don't exchange names.
And then
year two, you learn his name.
To clarify this point, year one, there's no reason why I would know his name, because I hadn't been introduced to him.
No.
There's no reason for you to know his name at all.
Year two, I had forgotten his name, but endeavoured to remember it for the third year.
Right. All right, David. Is that the truth, or is it part of Jack's impish sense of fun and a lie?
I think it's the truth.
Do you? I think it's a lie.
I think it's true. I think I'm going to go for true.
Fine, that's all right.
You know.
You're saying true?
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's the team decision. OK. Jack D.
It was true.
Oh,
Hey!
that's me. Very good, well done. Don't believe me.
It's true. Jack did develop a word association system to remember people's names, but gave it up when it backfired on him.
Right. I always test the temperature of my bath with my ear.
Here we are, Lee.
What's wrong with the conventional elbow?
Well, two things, Hugh. Firstly, it amuses me to test it with my ear. And secondly, I'm a big fan of the bath and I like to get it right and I think it's more sensitive. I sometimes test food, the heat of food, by my ear as well.
Could you mime the process of how you put your ear in the bath?
No, it's simply a question of kneeling at the bath, and I have quite high baths.
How high from the top would you say the water goes?
Well, probably about that much.
Right, so you're kneeling down. Kneeling down,
Yeah.
and then
you can bend away all the way over to get your ear in the bath without...
Look,
I'm quite tall, and I just get there quite
bendy as well.
I'm bendy. Hi.
Can I just
I'm
add
tall
some,
and bendy.
Add some credibility.
This is when you put my mobile number at the bottom of the screen.
So, I'm guessing like most normal people, you like a little bit of bubble bath and stuff. So you're basically leaning over, you're going in headfirst through the bubble bath. You're going through it, wait, and then suddenly you've hit it. Oops, it's a bit hot. You've come up. Your face is full of suds, yeah? And you go, well, I'll add a bit more coal to that, and then you sit there and wait with your frothy face. Is that what we're expected to believe?
Lee, do you usually have a bubble bath? I didn't have you down as a bubble bath type.
To be fair, David, you probably didn't have me down as a bath type.
I can tell you that he's got an open fire in his bathroom.
Yes.
Really?
And sometimes Miranda will come round and I'll say to Miranda, I'm not sure if that fire's too hot. And she will...
Do you have one ear that's more sensitive than the other? Is it the left, right, always the left, right, always the right?
Always has to be the left because of where the bath is.
Are you right-handed?
Yes.
That'll make sense, you see.
Do you face away from the...
I'm left-handed and I would go in with the right ear, you see.
I'm right-handed, but I would go with my right ear because of the way my bathroom is. To go with my left ear, I'd have to be turning my back to the taps when I did it, and I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. I want to be able to see that, because ultimately the taps are responsible for the temperature, so I want to be able to look them in the eye while I judge what they've done.
You know those taps haven't actually got eyes, that's your reflection, don't you?
Yeah, no, I know.
What are you going to say on this one, Lee? What are you thinking? Is she telling the truth?
Honestly, Lee, the physics of this are all wrong. If you're kneeling, it's your hips that you bend from. Otherwise, your whole spine would have to be able to go over at 90 degrees.
No, because it's genuinely really easy to do.
Can you just kneel down and show us roughly how it works?
It's literally... So say the bath is...
Can I be the bath?
Where's...
I'll be the...
So he's the bath. Just say this is the water. That's quite low
Well, that's
down.
convenient, isn't it? That perfect height.
No, but it's not.
I can adjust it. I'll be the bath. There's the water. Oh, a bit of ear. Got me.
That was very well done.
Thank you very much.
Well done. OK, Lee.
What's your answer?
Do you know what? Until she did that, I didn't believe it, and now I do.
I do as well now. What do you think, Rufus?
Yeah. Still think it's a lie.
Do you? Ooh, I'll go with you and say that's true.
True. OK. Miranda, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
It was a lie.
It's a lie. Miranda does not test the temperature of her bath with her ear.
I once had to ask Michael Winner to calm down after I crashed into his car.
David.
Right. Was this... At the time when you asked him to calm down, had his brilliant eShore campaign already hit our screens and so, you know, seemed like an apposite thing to say? Or was this years ago and angrier Michael Winner, who still had a film career?
Yeah. I think it was before the adverts.
Right, so maybe that's what gave him the idea.
Quite possibly.
What car was he driving?
He was driving a Bentley.
What colour?
I don't know, it was dark.
What, it was at night or it was a dark Bentley?
Both. It was dark, that's why it blended in.
Right.
That's why I hit him.
Are you sure he had a car at all?
Well, you mean I just hit him up the arse?
Well, he was once a very large man.
What was your car?
I was in a Vauxhall Cavalier.
And where did the crash happen?
Yes.
It was Kensington High Street in London.
Who was in the car with him?
No one, I think.
He was driving himself?
He was driving himself, yeah.
Describe the whole incident.
It was raining and it was dark, and I braked. And the guy in front of me braked very suddenly, and I went into the back of him.
So you both get out of the car. At this point, you're presumably quite surprised to see that it's Michael Winner.
I started laughing.
Right. What was his response?
He said, that bumper's about £1,000. Then Michael Winner got out of the car and he said, I agree with the first chap. I started laughing and he just said, this isn't very funny. And I said, I think it is.
Did you exchange all the details?
I think I gave him my details. I don't think he gave
Did you
me
include the OBE in your details?
Didn't have one at the time.
This was pre-decoration.
Was it this incident that led to your being awarded the OBE? Because I think you should have got a knighthood.
Well...
you have to kill him for that.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't have a passenger with him, because he's very friendly with Michael Caine. I was driving down the road when we felt a prang in the arse. I looked around. Who do you bloody think it was? Only Sanjeev Bhaskar, pre-decoration. What do you think, David's team?
Michael Winner does have a driver, always talks about the driver in his reviews.
Well, you think it's true.
Well, I'm so gullible. I think, yes. Oh, did it? Oh, really?
You think it's
well,
a
it
lie.
happened.
It's a lie.
There's something about he would have a chauffeur or someone else in the car. So, on the basis I have the casting vote, I'm going to say lie.
Saying that it's a lie.
Yeah.
OK. Sanjeev Bhaskar, OBE. Are you telling the truth or telling a lie?
I'm telling the truth.
Yes. It's true. Sanjeev did once have to ask Michael Winner to calm down after he crashed into his car. It was a serious accident, but a couple of good panel beaters and some light touching up, and Michael looked as good as new.
I recite my times tables every night before bed.
Why?
Because I've always been rubbish at maths. It just doesn't go in my head. My brain doesn't compute that way. And I can learn loads and loads of lines if I'm acting, but I've never been able to get my times tables in. And I thought, before I die, I want to be able to do my times tables. And also, when you go to a sale and you go shopping, when it says 75% off a dress or 40%, I can't work that out. I know it's thick and I feel embarrassed because I'm sitting next to you and you've got to tell me.
I'm a famous mathematician. My secret identity is percentage man.
But I thought, I don't want to die and not be able to do my times tables.
Could you recite them now, then?
Before I go to bed, my husband lies next to me and I say, I do them, and then I say,
It's
right,
nice to see the
fire them
romance,
at
isn't
me.
it? I tell you what, dear, it's cold in the valleys, isn't it? Don't worry, I've got a game that'll cheer us up. What'd you start? What's the first one? It's not your 2 times table, is it?
Yeah,
oh,
it is.
Goodness.
I've gone as far as about my 6, and I get to 7. Don't go in.
What's 7 times 5?
I'm gonna. Oh God, this is so embarrassing.
35.
35. That is why I'm doing it. That's why I'm learning them.
Yeah, but you might have dyscalculus, like me, so you're not thick.
Have what?
Dyscalculus, same as dyslexia, so that's what I've got.
Oh, yeah, right.
That is
I've got shorterless.
Well, that's true.
Don't you come round here giving it any of that, sweetheart. You'll be barred from this bloody pub, all right?
But that is true, you might have that. You're not thick.
Oh,
If there
yeah.
any kids watching, you're not thick if you can't add up.
Well, you're a bit thick, aren't you?
Well, I mean, it's a bit late, isn't it?
You're not bright, let's put it like that.
Do you do it every single night without fail? Even if you come in really pissed, you still do it? You're getting on the times table?
Yeah, I still try to do it, yeah.
Oh, my God, if there's a dress for 80 quid and it says 50% off, will you struggle?
Right, well, this is right. No, that would be £40, wouldn't it? But I've got to check with you when I say it. I can't just say straight off.
What I often find, actually, is in shops, when they take a percentage off, get the original price, they will also tell you the subsequent price. It's actually, it's quite a minority of shops make you work it out. If you get it wrong, that's what you pay. Even if it's less than they wanted to charge. They go, I hope we don't get one of those dyscalculus people in. I thought it was 50p. Just a bit to it.
So, Lee, what are you going to say? Is she telling the truth?
What have you cracked? Which one do you think you've...
I've cracked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You mean you've learned how to count? OK, you cracked the ones, the twos...
And I cracked 7 the other night.
Right, give us the 7 times table.
But I can't do it now, I can't remember it. 1 7 is 7. Oh, foul, this is like my worst nightmare. 1 7 is 7, 2 7s are 14, 3 7s are 21, 4 7s are 28, 5 7s, now this is where all 5 7s are 35, 6 7s are 42, 7 7s are 40, right, this is 49, 49, 8 7s are 54, 52,
Higher.
56, okay. What was that, 9 7s are 56, 10 7s are 70, 11 7s are 77, 12 7s are 84, 80, 89, 92.
Right, so...
I think this could be a cracking new round.
Lee, is it the truth?
I think it's a lie.
Why do you think it's a lie?
Why would anybody do that at night? That's the last thing you need before you go to bed.
I think it's true.
Patsy thinks it's true.
Patsy's going to stick on true.
We'll go with Patsy, though.
All right, then, so, Joe, truth or lie?
That is... true!
Yes, it's true. Actually, Joe, I've got a mental arithmetic problem for you. If you take one husband and recite multiplication tables at him 7 nights a week, how many divorce lawyers will he need?
Right. I once undertook a self-help course entitled How to Become Taller.
Very hurtful, that laughter, I thought, Ronnie. Very hurtful.
Was it a step-by-step guide?
It was. No, it was a little routine I had to perform every morning against the wall, stretching up, and with a pin in the wall.
Oh, it was literally taller, not just to make you feel
Oh, no, to
confident.
really make me
This is
taller.
going to make you taller.
I'm talking about the real business, making me taller. And saying every day, and in every way, I'm getting taller and taller.
Can I ask you a question? Did you keep the receipt?
Was this done once you were of maturity, or was it when you were an adolescent and still possibly might grow?
I was about sort of 14 or 15.
Oh,
yes,
right.
And it was bought by my aunt,
right,
who was perhaps more worried about my size than I was.
Yeah.
And so she subscribed to it.
How tall were you at 14?
A little bit taller than I am now, actually.
This is a great book you bought, isn't it?
But surely at 15 you can still have a growth spurt. Like, Julian, you're pretty tall. Like, how old were you when you reached the height you are now?
Well, I shot up when I was 15.
Were you doing this yourself?
Slow.
Were you older than 15 when you were...
I was about 18, I suppose.
So to worry about your nephew not being tall at 14 or 15, that's quite premature to get concerned about someone's height.
But boys do usually shoot up at about 14 or 15, don't they?
I never shot up. My parents kept telling me about my cousin Gethin, who always shot up when he was 22, he got ages yet. And it was, I peaked at a very disappointing 5'7", which is...
I can't believe in front of Ronnie you're saying a very disappointing...
I was about to say.
His feelings!
I know. It's so upsetting. That's even more upsetting. When did you get out of short trousers into long trousers?
Oh, what time is it now? So what do you think? Is Ronnie telling the truth?
In the context of, what was that, the 40s when you were a teenager?
The 1944, 42,
Yeah.
41, 42.
Sort of
I
thing
don't
people
think
might
people
have
have money
believed.
to spend on self-help books. It was during the war. They're not going to spend time worrying about how tall people are.
Well, you'd think that'd be the time
exactly when you worry about we need to be taller than the enemy.
Having said that, it would have been annoying if they'd have made you grow an extra 6 inches, sent you in the war, got in the trench, and your head was sticking out. It would have been very annoying, wouldn't it?
Now, you've got to get a grip here, Lee, and make a decision.
I think we should go for... You're saying truth. Holly, how sure are you?
I'm definitely sure you're not. That's not true. I'm sure. I don't know.
You've answered the question, sweetheart. I'll go with Julian.
OK, you're saying it's true. So, Ronnie Corbett, is it the truth, or were you telling a lie?
It is the truth.
It's true. Ronnie did once undertake a self-help course entitled How to Become Taller. Of course, lacking height is no obstacle to success. I can think of loads of short people who've become household names. There's Ronnie, of course, and then there's Sleepy, Grumpy, Happy, Dozy, Sneezy, Ant and Deck.
In my garden, I have a life-size statue of myself astride a unicorn.
Seems reasonable enough, David.
Where do you get one? I mean,
it was
I
a
want
prop
one.
from a show. A prop from a show I did. It's not made of stone, it's made from polystyrene or something, but it's been painted. It's a bit weather-worn now.
And what was the show?
It was it was a New Year's Eve thing for Channel 4, Hello 1993 or something.
Well, why did Hello 1993 need a statue of you on a unicorn?
Well, it was the 90s.
You touch it up every now and again, every spring, give the repaint, or...
I have a man for that sort of thing.
Oh, right.
You don't have to touch up its horn yourself?
No.
Did you ask for the unicorn, or was that forced on you?
Well, it was part of the set. You know, like you have these sort of bumper car things for this set.
Yes, I see that.
When this comes to an end, you may want to take one of those home. Same.
I'd like to have this in my house, and I'd like to address my wife from it every night. On to round 3, foreplay, and if you get through that, who knows what might happen. So it's in the garden. Is it part of a water feature? Is it on a lawn?
It's on a plinth, on a few bricks.
A few bricks.
Which is it? A plinth or a few bricks? Because when cars have had their wheels taken, they don't say, "Oh, look, that car's on a plinth."
Well, I call it a plinth.
How nice.
What do you think then, David?
Yeah, what do you think, Ronnie?
I think it might be a lie.
Really?
Would it be in the garden for this long, I asked myself.
Well, it could... I mean, it could be in a bit of a state.
Seriously
by now.
dilapidated.
Yeah. A sort of a decaying image of yourself on you. That'd be quite a reminder of your own mortality on top of a mythical beast.
I have a similar thing in my house. It's called a mirror. So what are you going to say, David?
I think it's true. I thought it was true from the first time we said it. I didn't need any backup.
You think it's a lie?
I think it's true.
I think it's a lie.
Well, I think on balance, I think it's true.
OK, David's saying it's true. Julian, were you telling the truth, or were you telling a lie?
It was a lie.
Oh.
Yes, it's a lie. Julian doesn't have a life-size statue of himself astride a unicorn in his garden. The traditional method for hunting a unicorn is for a fair maiden to sit alone upon the grass, and after a time the unicorn will approach. This is also the traditional method for catching flashes.
I have actually been fired by Alan Sugar.
Oh, there we are.
Right, OK. So why were you working for Alan Sugar?
I wasn't directly working for him. I was working for a catering company when I first left drama school, like a lot of good drama students, black trousers, white shirt, handing round the drinks and the canapes, and I turned too quickly and knocked 3 glasses of red wine, I remember everything, 2 glasses of white wine and 4 canapes down a lady's top.
And the lady was?
Angry.
Cross. I had no idea who he was until years later when I saw him on the telly, and I thought, that's the who fired me.
So was he standing next to him?
Yes, it was his do. He was the host of the do, and I was summarily dispensed with.
Dispensed of or disposed with.
Dispersed.
Yeah.
Tossed off.
Thank you.
What was the name of the catering company?
Oh, God, Mayflower. Well done.
You were the one that remembered it.
Yes, I know.
It's good that he can pat himself on the back of it.
Yeah.
Well done.
It was
Martin
a long time
Clunes.
ago.
Well done. Yes. This is where I live. Well done.
So what? So she was cross. He was standing next
to be honest,
her.
she was just wet and dirty, as I remember. But he was. No, she was just busy with dealing with, worrying about her clothes, and his summary firing of me was a sort of display for her benefit as much as anything.
So he was right there and he did it himself?
Yes.
And
Did he use his catchphrase? He's a lovely man.
You fired. Did he do that?
Like thinking of Rocky Balboa, I think, isn't it?
You fired. You fired, Edwin. You fired.
Lee, that's a very good Rocky Balboa, but doesn't he really sound a bit more like this? Hello, very much. Hello, time.
What did he actually say to
Oh,
you?
God, I can't remember. There was anger, there was shouting. He didn't swear, but he made me look stupid. But cunningly, I already looked stupid. So that didn't really hurt.
Right, David.
I think Mayflower sounds very much like a sort of outside catering company.
But do you think that if you're the guest who's been spilt all over, wet and dirty, that he would have turned round and said, "You're fired"?
It's a very nasty thing to do, because it's only an accident.
When you were 20?
You were full of apologies at this
Of course
moment.
I was full of apologies. I had some spillage on me, but I didn't, bang on
Didn't
about
blame
that.
her. That was probably a wise course not to go, what are you doing, you stupid bitch? Standing right in my way!
He's telling the truth.
You think he's telling the truth?
I think he is telling the truth.
What do you
But
think?
he is a brilliant actor.
Thank you.
Well, he's
You
an
are.
actor. I mean, with the greatest respect, we're not talking about Robert De Niro, are we? It's Martin Clunes. I mean...
Is he going to do Robert De Niro now?
I can't do him.
Go on, have a stab.
That's all I can do.
That was a monkey. Robert De Niro as a monkey. He's very versatile. He could do a monkey that well.
What's that? Al Pacino? OK. Tom
Like
Jones?
De Niro, that isn't it, with longer arms?
No, Al Pacino is... OK, Pacino, OK? What do you got?
That's Columbo.
Yes!
Actually, to be fair to him, when you stand up, it is a very good Ronnie Corbett.
Yeah.
So who's guessing? If that ends up in the show, I'm gone. Come on, everybody. Let's have a guess.
Well, I think you instinctively think it's true.
I'm going to go with true.
Well, I haven't got a clue. So.
I can only go with Fern.
I think yes. Let's go with you.
OK, we're going with Fern, and you're saying that it's true? Martin Clunes, our greatest living actor. Were you telling the truth, or were you telling a lie?
I was telling a porcupine.
I once caused the Hadron Collider to be shut down after I spilt yoghurt in it.
Do you know what? I believe it already. David's team.
Paint the picture of a day working at the Collider.
Not literally, we'll be here all night.
What's the sort of access point of the Collider like? I'm imagining it's like a room with computers in. I don't imagine people are sort of wandering around the actual tube bit, finding a little corner to have lunch.
During construction, then, of course, you had to go in. And I was responsible for a bit that's about 420 metres from the point at which we create the Big Bangs. And so I was in there, and you test bits when it's all done. And I was in there in the morning, having my yoghurt. You're not supposed to...
He does have to chase up the ladies, doesn't he? That's what you're drinking.
Someone went past me on a bike, because you have to ride bikes or anything, and nudged my arm, and I spilt the yoghurt onto an electrical connection.
And this was during construction?
Yes. Well, during the testing of my piece.
So it didn't all have to be shut down, just a...
No, just an octant. We can shut it down in eighths.
Right.
And I think he knew what an octant was.
Yeah.
It's for you. It's for me.
Can I ask you a technical question?
Yeah.
What flavour was the yoghurt?
It was one of those Swiss, like rather flavourless Swiss yoghurts.
So there are people in there on bikes.
Yeah, because it's 27 kilometres in
So they go around on bikes inside.
Yes. Sounds like Centre Parks.
And you're sitting... Which part of it did you drop the yoghurt into or onto?
There are pieces called... I'm going to go into chat-up mode again now. called superconducting cables. that, if you cool them down to about 1.9 Kelvin, so 1.9 degrees above absolute zero, then they become superconducting, have no electrical resistance and carry currents up to 13,000 amps in wires of a very small cross-section.
So in layman's terms, is it a wire?
Yeah.
Did you get yoghurt on a wire?
It's niobium tungsten alloy.
Sorry?
It's a niobium tungsten alloy.
I'm not saying it's not a brilliant wire.
As David well knows, because they're superconducting, they can
I might well know as well.
They can carry very high currents.
Flirting with each other. I know as well. Tell me, you bitch.
I'm very flattered by it, but you know, I did history. You know, I know that Hitler's dead, and that's it.
And, Professor, how long was it closed down for?
About 3 months.
3 months? As a result of what you did?
We had to replace that piece of the machine.
Oh, my God.
That was
quite expensive.
How much do they reckon that cost?
That's why I'm on telly now trying to work off these debts. Why do you think I'm doing this? I don't
know.
I'm in Geneva, if I had any respect left at all.
They said, get out there, whore yourself around. He's just come from hole in the wall.
Did you own up straight away, or did you say, he hit me, nudge me? On the bike.
I had sticky up hair and a completely sooty face. I couldn't deny it.
You went to the fancy
Did you then take your goggles off?
Did you take them off and did you go, Marty, we're going to get to the DeLorean! So, David, let's take a guess. What do you think?
3 months, that's a big... I just wonder whether he'd be ready to bring it up on a comedy show.
So, with that in mind, what are you going to say?
I think it's a lie.
Well, I'm just in awe of the sciencey stuff. And if he says he dropped yoghurt on a wire, then he dropped yoghurt on a wire.
Is it a lie?
I think it's a lie.
I think it's a lie. You think it's true?
I think it's true. What can I say?
Well, let's be democratic and say it's a lie.
You're saying it's a lie. OK, Professor Brian Cox, is it the truth or were you telling a lie?
It was a lie.
Well done.
It was a lie.
I got Wellard the dog drunk on the set of EastEnders.
David's team. Is she telling the truth?
Right. What was the...
What's EastEnders?
Thank you. Excellent. What's the alcohol in question? What were you... Vodka.
How much vodka?
It was just, you know, like a small glass.
That's small, is it?
Small glass of vodka.
So the glass, it was one of those small, round, like, flat-bottom little glasses.
Just a glass, basically. You just described a glass.
How did you get it in his mouth?
No, I didn't put it in his mouth. We put it in his bowl. But...
He thought it was water?
Yeah.
How far through it did he get before he realised it wasn't
the whole
water?
bowl.
I would have thought at some point in the drinking process, as a dog, you're going to go, something here is different.
If you're a dog and you used to drink water and then you smell your bowl, it's full of vodka, you think, well, this smells like a girl from Birmingham. It's clearly not water.
Smell, that's it. That's what dogs do all the time.
Exactly.
Why have you got a bottle of vodka on the set of EastEnders?
No, we didn't have a bottle of vodka. We just had a glass of vodka. It's not anymore, but when we first started working there, all of the bottles of drink in the pub were real alcohol.
That strikes me as a flawed policy.
Not then. Now you couldn't have it, health and safety, but then there was real drink in the pub.
Is that why Den was so dirty? Because everyone was just pissed.
The vodka's sufficiently diluted with the water that the dog doesn't notice. And
Yeah.
presumably the whole place is sticky of booze anyway, with all the pissed-up actors forgetting their lines.
Just noticed that he went a little bit funny and he laid down. It wasn't like he was, like, punching people in the face. You know, he did get really worried because he kind of did lay down. He was very quiet and a bit like when he died, so we knew he could do that.
I gotta be honest, I think it's true, because it's the sort of thing I do. See what happens.
So what are you going to say?
Do you think it's...
I think if you haven't at some point tried to make a dog drunk, you're not normal.
I think we think that almost anyone, given enough time sitting in the same room with some vodka and a dog, will either put the vodka in the dog or the other way round. So we're saying true, I think.
You're saying it's true?
Yeah.
OK, Patsy Palmer, is it the truth or is it a lie?
It's a lie.
I had a job as a postman, but left after a week because I couldn't ride the bike.
Mack, what do you think?
When was this?
When I was a student.
Oh, not just after this morning?
Did they provide a bike or did you have your own bike?
They provide a bike.
And you couldn't ride it?
No.
Why couldn't you ride it?
Because the basket on the front that you put the letters in doesn't turn when you turn the handlebars, so you think you're probably going straight on, but you're not. You're trying to turn right, then you think, I'm scared, and then you fall off.
Sorry, what decade are we talking
Basket
about?
on the...
Basket on the front?
How old were you at the time?
18, so 1933.
She's exaggerating.
34, OK.
My wife has a bike with a high basket at the front. Sometimes I'll pop up, you know. I might pop up into the basket, you know. I'm doing Ronnie Corbett. I might pop up and admire the view. As you were.
So you lasted a week.
good.
You lasted. Don't encourage him. I'm just glad that basket wasn't big enough to fit Terry Wogan in. Don't. So, how long? You're a week. Just 1 week. No!
Oh, feel it coming on. Now, are you edging anywhere closer to
Suicide, yes. What did you do after that? What was your next job?
Fern?
You seem to be stuck. Your face went to screensaver then.
Oh, just jiggle my mouse, I'll come back.
I'll do it.
I worked in a sweet shop.
So what are you going to say?
Martin thinks it's true.
Martin thinks it's true.
Yeah.
Are you basing that on anything than a 50-50 guess?
I'm basing it because I didn't think it was when you started. You seemed hesitant, but then the confidence and the fullness of your answers convinced me.
I have to say that's probably the most polite answer we've had on the show so far. The bit I don't understand is how the basket doesn't go the same way as
Well, that's what she didn't understand. That's what let her down over the whole arrangement, was the faulty bloody bicycle.
Go on, go with your science.
You think it's not true?
No.
OK, it's time to make a guess.
Well, what do we think? What was your...
I've told you!
Well, I didn't listen.
Jesus, this is dragging on, isn't it?
You were a bit like Doc Martin then when you got a bit cross,
Was
weren't
I?
you?
Yeah.
We saw that side of him, didn't we? It was quite exciting. It was like watching Doc Martin without having to watch it. I liked you in Inspector Morse. Do you remember when you went, "You're a damn fool, Morse"? Do you remember that?
I also called him Cheese Inspector, but I said it really quickly, so and they left it in. Cheese Inspector? I used to do requests for friends when I got a job. I called Lovejoy Love Juice as well.
Did you?
Love Juice.
Really? Let's take a guess then.
I think it's true.
You think it's true?
Yeah, I don't think it's true.
I have to make the decision then, so I'll go with Sanjeev and say that that is not true.
You think it's not true, you think it's a lie. OK, so, Fern Britton, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
It's true.
Yes, it's true. Fern did have a job as a postman, but she left after a week because she couldn't ride the bike. Part of the problem is that the wheels on a post office bike are larger than normal. That's according to a spokesperson. That is a beauty.
OK. For 10 years, I refused to go into any branch of McDonald's after a girl dumped me in one.
What, you mean this girl took you there and left you there?
So you phoned ahead, made the reservation. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Manford. We're very busy tonight.
How old were you? I was 16, she was 15. Oh, hello. So, actually illegal.
You were on a date with her, or...?
Yeah, I think we'd been to the cinema, and then afterwards we'd gone to the McDonald's.
So when you were at the cinema, had you perhaps committed something of an indiscretion at the cinema, which prompted her then to end the relationship at the fast food restaurant?
I'd chosen Jumanji.
Can I ask, did she eat her meal before she finished with you?
I ate them both, I think, crying.
Oh, this is...
Finally, can I ask you, Jason, what prompted you to make a return to McDonald's in the end?
I think I was needed a wee, like everyone else.
But it was 10 years, a whole 10 years
so
that you didn't enter that restaurant.
2-3 years ago.
Wow.
I finally went back in. I looked that clown in the eye and I walked right into there. She was still there. She was still there. I don't know, what do we think, Jet?
I think he's telling the truth. I think he's dumping material he wouldn't dare do on stage.
You say true? True. I'll go for true. You want to go for true?
True.
They're saying true. Jason Manford, are you telling the truth?
It is the truth.
What a roller coaster of a life you've led.
Yes, it's true. Jason, you've never been able to get over that girl dumping you all those years ago, but I can tell you now that she's here tonight. She's not. No, it was a physical joke.
I once had a job where I had to answer the phone and say, "Hello, beef?"
There we are, Lee's team. What do you think?
What was the job? It was a job, it was an office job where... An
office job?
Yeah, an office job.
Right.
In an office job.
Yeah, I know what an office job is.
Yeah, with a
The
certain
word
type.
office I'm not confused with is the bit about the beef that's getting to it.
It's a government department where we dealt with beef and lamb and suckling cows.
Right. So what was the government department exactly? What were they
It
doing?
was it was an agricultural department of Welsh government.
So they'd ring up and say, "Hello, beef," and the kind of questions they would ask you would be...
They'd say, it was all about identifying animals.
Identifying them?
Yeah.
So you go, "Hello, beef," and they go, "I think you're just a man. I'm looking at a big black and white animal. It's saying moo. Can you help me?" "Ah, it's cow. I'm beef. Goodbye."
No. Well, either that or you might want to put them through the suckler cow. Depends if it was male or female.
What is a suckler cow?
I don't know. I only worked in beef.
Was this in Cardiff or something? Or?
No, it was in West Wales.
Was it in Carmarthen?
Carmarthen.
Kidwelly?
Carmarthen.
Haverfordwest?
Carmarthen.
Carmarthen?
You should work on the trains. The Welsh office is in Cardiff, but the Welsh office agriculture department, WOAD, is in Carmarthen.
So farmers would ring you up and ask you questions about
Farmers
beef?
would ring me up and they'd say, "I've got an animal here, and it needs identification," and we would give them...
What do you mean identification?
We would give them cattle identification documents. It was the CID department, CID,
Just
cattle identification.
Stop it. I feel sick with confusion.
I worked in CID. It was
you worked in CID?
Cattle
now it makes sense. You worked in CID.
There's been a mooder.
CID was cattle identification document, so it's like a cow passport, and they'd ask us questions about
Cow passport?
A cow passport. They'd ring up and they'd say, "We've got a new cow in town."
So you'd send out the official documentation.
They would tell me the animal's details, and we would print up a CID, cattle identification
because
document.
Because each one needed this. Everyone had to have this.
Every cow.
Oh, every cow, yes.
So what are you going to say then, Lee? Is he telling the truth?
Well, if you know a lot about cows. A little.
I've rung up departments of DEFRA and said hello, and they've said hello beef.
Yeah.
True. And the whole WOWAD thing, you wouldn't just come up with that.
Unless you were very quick and very clever.
OK, we'll go with true.
You're saying true. Rod, were you telling the truth?
It was...
true!
Yes, it's true. Rod did once have a job where he had to ensure every cow had a passport. Oh, it's hard enough getting him into the milking shed, let alone a photo booth.
I lied to my husband that I was good at tennis and had to have secret lessons when he arranged a doubles match.
Oh, all right, there we are. Lee?
Why would you lie to your husband about
because he wasn't my husband at the time, and I was trying to...
Woo him?
Woo him. He's very sporty, so I told him I could ski.
And has he subsequently asked you to go skiing?
He took me skiing.
Did you have to learn to ski?
It was truly terrible. Well, somebody called Eust actually taught me how to ski.
Eust?
I can recommend Eust. Skiing. Yes, so, no, I went and booked some lessons.
And what was he called, the instructor?
God, I can't remember.
And yet Eust, like that.
Yeah, but Eust was like...
Keely, keep it together, it's falling apart.
Yeah, no, I can't remember.
What was the first thing you learnt on the tennis court?
How to bounce the ball.
And how do you bounce the ball? That was a quick bounce.
What do you mean? Well, it's only that big and it's only there to there.
Well, I think you tell her gravity would have taken a bit longer to get down and all, wouldn't it? Well, you're playing on the moon.
It's not just gravity, you can give a bit of force.
You can impart an impulse to it, yeah.
That's it, impart an
The rate of change of momentum is proportional.
Don't push it. Did you win?
I got there and I feigned an ankle problem.
What
because I saw when I got there how good they were going to be.
So
it was to impress him. I didn't think he'd start involving other people.
Is he a man for involving other people in general?
Right, we're not at a physicists' convention now. We'll keep this clean, please.
Yeah.
Now, listen here. Did your husband ever find out about these secret lessons?
I told him.
You came clean?
I came clean on the night that I made him dinner, pretended that I'd cooked it, and then he...
Your whole life is a fabrication, isn't it?
I did it to him in the dark, and then he found the Tesco Express box.
Oh, no.
And then it all came out.
Did it?
I said, I can't play tennis, and I can't cook.
My name's not Jeff.
So what are you going to say, Lee? Truth or lie?
True or lie?
I think it's true.
You think it's true?
I believe that.
What do we think?
True.
I'll have to go with the team then. I'll say that.
So you're saying it's true? Oh, all right. Keely, truth or lie?
It's absolutely true.
Well done, Sue. I was doubting that one. Nice work.
Yes, it's true. Keely did lie to her husband that she was good at tennis and she did have to have secret lessons when he arranged a doubles match. I had a relationship go wrong because I couldn't play tennis. Looking back, I should never have told that bloke I was Sue Barker.
Occasionally, as a treat, I put Marmite on my face and let my dog lick it off.
Face. Yeah. And this is a treat for you or the dog?
I see it as a treat for the dog, because...
How does he see it?
Like many people, I don't... Apparently also very much as a treat.
What kind of dog, please?
She's a Springer Spaniel.
You say this is predominantly for the dog. You must enjoy it on some level, because that's quite an extreme activity to do with
I've always
just for a dog.
I've always liked having my face licked by the family dog. Always.
By just the dog? Anyone else?
Well, cats have a raspy, sandpapery tongue, and it's not nearly so nice.
Have you ever been caught in that awkward moment where you've marmited up and then somebody's rung the doorbell?
By members of the household, but not by strangers at the door.
Do dogs like Marmite?
Dolly does.
I'm not sure that's a helpful line of inquiry, is it?
Do dogs like...
They like salt.
Of course
that's
it's
why
a
they
helpful
lick.
line of
Is
inquiry.
it a helpful line of
If
inquiry?
all dogs hate Marmite, it can't be true.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody on the planet that could answer that question properly.
You don't think there's anyone
on the planet that could answer the question, do all dogs like Marmite? No, I don't think there is.
I don't want this to sound like a rebuke. What I was saying was whether anyone knew whether or not all dogs might hate Marmite. You'd know if all dogs...
That's very much just the other side of the coin, in my book.
No, this isn't a coin. There are three things. There's dogs all hate Marmite,
Yes.
there's dogs all like
Yes.
Marmite,
Yes.
or there's dogs have a similar view to Marmite as humans do.
Yeah, what, let me go hate it?
Rob,
Yeah, I know.
as someone who's now in Series 4, you never get into conversations like this with David. He always wins or wears you down. Just don't do it.
Surely it is almost certainly true that some dogs will like Marmite and some won't.
No. For example, I would say that no cats like baked beans.
Would you?
You're definitely wrong about that.
For 2 hours, my cat got stuck in a fridge and genuinely ate a bowl of baked beans. Genuine, I swear on my life.
How did the cat get stuck in the...
The cat, I don't know, just leapt in when my mum opened it once.
And then and you didn't see it?
And
She didn't see a cat in the fridge?
She did that. Probably got some milk, cat jumped in, shut.
Well, she got the milk for the cat, and then where's the cat? Have you seen the cat?
Maybe I'm wrong about cats and baked beans. What I'm saying is there are some foods liked by many humans that certain other species will never eat.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is different species like different things, and
No,
it is possible.
You said that the things that humans eat, that other animals, all other animals, the species...
We've got to learn to work together.
Well, you really have. In that case, you need to change your opinion.
This programme has taken on a tone of civil unrest. I sense anarchy at the gates. David, I'll caution you once. Control your team.
I'm going to have to call in the UN. I can no longer vouch for my team.
Excuse me, what have I done?
I feel like a supply teacher who's been parachuted into a problem school and is finding it very difficult to cope. Hugh, your original statement was to do with the dog licking off your face. Now, how often does this occur?
It's something I started doing as a kid because it was a good way to... That was several dogs...
Good way to what?
to get the family dog to lick my face.
So, David Mitchell, what are you saying? Truth or lie?
Rod, what do you think?
Oh, no.
I think whatever my captain thinks, I will back him to the hilt.
Oh, my word.
Can I just say that he just touched David's leg in a slightly effeminate manner? Like that.
If that's what it takes to have them working as a team, Miranda, I'm happy.
That whole round was sexual tension, is that what you're doing?
Is that sexual tension?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't like it. Miranda, what do you think?
I think it is a lie because he doesn't look that desperate for affection in his life.
It has to be a lie, David, otherwise there's something wrong with him.
So you both think it's a lie?
Yes.
OK, we'll say lie.
There's a lot riding on this
All right.
one.
So, Hugh Fernley Whittingstall.
It was a lie.
I have such a terrible singing voice that one year my teacher told me to mime during our school carol concert.
What was the song?
What was the song?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
It was a range of Christmas carols.
Oh, there was a few that you were bad at. You were bad, full stop. It wasn't just the one song.
Oh, no, I know you're right, Lee. I sung some of them like an angel. Oh, come all ye faithful, I just would scream the word shit.
Did she say this in front of everybody?
No. I was sort of taken aside and said, look, you're finding this a bit difficult, aren't you? And it's putting some of the other boys off.
So, truth or lie? Time to decide.
It's kind of too obvious and too easy, so I don't know.
No, you're thinking of me.
It's a lie.
I think it could be just a lie.
I will say lie. The team says lie. We'll go with lie, yeah.
OK. David, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
It's a lie. David was not told to mime during his school carol concert because he has such a terrible singing voice, sir. David's never been asked to keep quiet at school. Well, once. But out of respect for the gym teacher's career, we won't go into that.
I've placed a £500 bet at the bookies that I'll live till I'm 100.
David's team, what do you think?
When did you place this bet?
I placed this bet when I was 18 years old.
And what odds did they offer?
They offered odds of 1,000 to 1.
1,000 to 1. And you... Sorry, how much did you bet again?
£500.
So, when you're 100, you stand to gain what?
£47, 38.
How old are you now?
I'm 41.
Right, so at 18...
£500,000.
How...
Got it. Nice. Well done.
So you're only a couple of years younger than me. At 18, £500 was quite a lot of money back then.
It was.
Where did you get £500 from?
I inherited it from my granddad, who reached the age of 100.
Oh.
And I thought that would be an appropriate thing to do.
Your granddad was 100 before you were 18. How old's your dad when you're 18?
Sorry?
When you were 18... When you were 18, your grandfather was 100.
Yes.
No.
So he was 82. Your grandfather was 82 when you were born, right?
Can we stop calling him Grandad and give him his proper name of Step-Grandad? Show some respect for the dead. He's 100 years old.
He was your step-grandfather.
But you still decided that...
After your grandfather died, your grandmother married a much, much older man.
Well, she was very old. She was very old when she had my...
Yeah.
Why did you decide...
How old was your grandmother when she had your dad?
She
71?
She was 45 when she had my granddad.
Right.
Look, it's a weird family, I'm not going to lie. It's a very weird family.
It would make sense, that math.
She was 45 when she had...
The maths might make sense, but why did you decide that the genes of your step-granddad would be in you?
£500, that would have got you an airfare to Australia.
23 years
Surely
ago.
you would have spent it on travelling or something like that. I just can't believe that you would...
Oh, yeah. I was grieving. That was not the time to go flying around the world. There's nothing more upsetting than a step-grandfather dying at 100. I'll be honest with you, none of us expected it.
Yes, a lie. It's a lie.
You saying it's a lie?
It's a lie.
Ruth thinks it's a lie. Jason thinks it's a lie. Lee, is it a lie, or were you actually telling us the truth?
It is, in fact, a lie.
No, it's not true, but Lee's going to feel like such an idiot if he does reach 100. Not because he didn't place the bet, but because he'll be wetting himself on a bus and telling strangers he used to be on the telly. I used to put on a different voice on the telephone and pretend to be my own agent.
Oh! Let's have it, then.
The voice?
Imagine I've just rung up. Hello. Okay. I'm the people that want to book Rob Brydon. Yes. How much would he cost?
His name, I used to call him Richard Knight. And Richard used to talk like this, and he'd say, listen, love to help you out, but at that price, we're really not going to make much movement. And I once did a charity gig, and...
It's a lie. He's never done charity gigs.
got money for it, because Richard said, listen, Rob's an angel, and if he knew I was doing this, he'd never forgive me, but I've got to get a bit of money, otherwise I wouldn't be doing my job.
Did you have a real agent at the time?
No.
So, how many phone numbers? Do you have a separate phone number for your fake agent? Or was it just your
when
normal phone?
I used to work at the BBC in Cardiff. I was on the radio, I used to be a DJ, and if they got through to the office, I would then phone back under the guise.
When it came to important meetings, did you have to, like, take a disguise and sit there and go, oh, Rob's in the toilet at the moment, but when he gets back, I'm sure he can discuss with him. I'll go and get him now. I believe my agent said I could do it. I do all the voices. Ask me what it would be like if I was talking to Ronnie Corbett. Or Tom Jones, I can do it. If you don't believe me, ask my agent. I'll go with it.
I assume you've got an agent now, so why did you decide to...
Well, I didn't have one. Yeah, I have one now, but I didn't have one then.
What convinced you needed one? Was it working?
Because it's very difficult to do your own negotiations and not come across as an horrible person when you're asking for money. But if it was Richard Knight saying, listen, I'm just doing this, Rob doesn't want money, but I got to get money for the guy.
But they didn't know it was you.
That's my whole point, you idiot. That's what I'm saying.
Did you have anybody else on your books?
What's the sort of work that...
Hosting things. This was back in about the late 80s when I was a local radio disc jockey.
So did the agent take a cut?
Did the agent phone you to let you know they got the job?
No, I was the agent!
Did you ever fall out with your agent?
No, it was me!
When you decided that this charade had to finish, did you take yourself out to dinner and tell yourself you were letting yourself go?
Did you sign a contract?
Are you still in touch?
Right, it's time to guess. First of all, Lee and those bastards. What are you going to go for?
I would say true.
You think it's true?
You saying it's true?
Yes, in the words of Rob Brydon, I think that's true.
Right, saying it's true. David and these arses. What do you say?
That is so true.
I think
it's true?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Keely
it's
thinks
true.
it's true. David,
Nailed it.
well, let me buck the trend by telling you it's true.
When I was 6, I was thrown out of ballroom dancing lessons.
David's team.
Right, I'll take this.
Never say that to Craig.
You were 6. What had you done in the ballroom dancing lessons?
I broke a piece of equipment.
What equipment can you break ballroom dancing?
I broke the machine that plays the music, the tape machine that plays the music.
What? Well done. The machine that plays the music. Musictron, the robot, the friendly robot that ran the classes and would play the piano. I broke it.
What dance were you doing at the time?
I can't remember the dance, if the truth be known.
So you can't do it now for us?
You're absolutely right, Ben.
OK.
Lee, you say you couldn't do it, and under normal circumstances, but we've got a...
Oh, Craig.
I call him Dancer. He can hold your hand and ease you into it gently.
I'll show you how it went.
OK.
I'll show you how it went. Right. Now, I'm going to say this really slowly, so listen. I think I better lead. Now, it's arm up, like this, you see, and basically, the arm on the shoulder, you're the lady. I sort of turned and then said, oh, what's that machine? And then broke the machine. That was roughly how it happened. If that's not evidence...
So what are you going to say? What do you think? Truth or lie?
I think it's an unusual choice, you know, for a 6-year-old. For a 6-year-old, but it's obviously...
It was big in the 70s, though, because of Come Dancing. Come Dancing was a big show in the 70s.
Yep.
Before it was bastardised.
So what are you going to say?
It's a difficult one, but I think we're saying it's a lie.
You're saying it's a lie. OK. Lee, truth or lie?
It is, in fact, true.
It's true. When Lee was 6, he was thrown out of ballroom dancing lessons. Even so, he spent the next few years locked away in his bedroom perfecting the hand drive.
As a child, I used to play board games against a bucket with a face painted on it. I called this bucket Stephen Tatlock.
Wow, what games did you play?
Monopoly. I played a game called Diplomacy. And
even then, you were thinking of becoming a politician.
Yeah. Even then, I'm not a politician.
Why Stephen Tatlock?
Well, it was basically named after a friend of mine. Who was,
Why did you play with Stephen Tatlock? He had no hands.
Stephen Tatlock wasn't always there. But after I painted the face on the bucket, he was.
Did you paint the face on the bucket?
I think my dad painted the face.
Your dad was involved in this sad story? You've decided you haven't got any friends, but lucky day for you is this is Stephen Tatlock.
What can I say? My father saw me talking to a bucket and decided to accept that side of my nature.
Did your father invent Henry Hoovers afterwards?
And this is your girlfriend.
So if you were playing Monopoly, you'd have your go, and then you'd run round and pretend to be Stephen, would you?
I wouldn't pretend to be Stephen, but I found I had to roll for Stephen. And Stephen would need help moving his...
Did Stephen ever win?
Yes.
What do you think, Lee? Is he telling the truth?
What do you think?
I don't know many people who have an imaginary friend with a surname.
He's one of the few. Did you call him Stephen Tatlock or Stephen? Did you say, it's your turn, Stephen Tatlock? You must do it quickly, or otherwise you'll go the way of the other buckets.
Usually I'd call him Stephen.
Oh, you were quite friendly then?
Yeah.
Did Stephen Tatlock know there was an imposter?
Imposter?
I call it the imposter.
No, I never mentioned Stephen Tatlock to Stephen Tatlock.
Did you ever mention the real Stephen Tatlock to the bucket?
I think probably not. No, I think that would have been...
They were blissfully unaware of each
sort
other's
of been
presence.
playing with levels of reality. I don't want you to think that I felt I was in any way being unfaithful to the real Stephen.
Oh, yeah. I'm not picturing this as some sort of romantic film. I can't imagine the real Stephen Tatlock walking in on the game and you go, Stephen!
So what do you think then, Lee? Time for a guess. Truth or lie?
I think it's true.
You think it's true?
Don't know why.
Well, look at David. We know why. What do you think, Holly?
I think... I don't think it's true.
I might ask my friend, Boris Dickey. What do you think, Boris Dickey? Oh, Boris Dickey says no. It's a lie.
So you're saying it's a lie?
Yes.
You and Boris say it's a lie. OK,
Boris
David.
Dickey!
Boris Dickey. David, truth or lie?
It is, in fact, a lie.
Yes, it was a lie. When David was a child, he didn't play board games against a bucket that he called Stephen Tatlock.
Looking forward to this.
I trained for last year's Paris Marathon, but pulled out when a doctor advised me that one of my legs is shorter than the other.
David, what do you think?
Why did you train for the Paris Marathon?
Because I couldn't get into the London Marathon.
Why?
One leg shorter than the other. Because it was full.
What time of year is the Paris Marathon?
About April.
About April. About the same time as the London Marathon, then. Lee, are they on the same day?
Yeah.
Do they clash? How embarrassing.
So what do you mean the London Marathon was full? It was a man dressed as a pig.
It doesn't mean he's a man who's dressed as a pig that hasn't applied early.
Yeah. They weren't going. We can't get enough people to fill this. Go up to the fields and try and rope some pigs into it.
Hello, pig. Yeah, well, we'll send one down. No problem.
What made you go to the doctor? Did you have an injury? Did you feel pain?
I did. I felt pain during the training and I said...
Where was the pain?
In my leg.
Is it not possible for people who have uneven legs to get shoes that compensate for that.
That's right. He said that. He gave me that.
Right.
He gave me the
why
thing.
wasn't that fine then?
When your leg's different, your whole body adjusts to make up for it. And it was so different.
It would have to be like a stiletto and a trainer.
He said, I'll give you the thing to put in your shoe, which will help you do some regular exercise, but your marathon days are over.
OK, so, David, what are you going to say? Do you think he's telling the truth?
Lie.
Why?
Oh, I believe it.
Thank you, Miranda. Thank you.
So, truth from Miranda,
I do,
lie
yeah.
from David.
I think it could be true, but I think if he'd really wanted to do it, you could have done it.
All right, I'll rephrase it, OK? I trained for last year's Paris Marathon, but pulled out when a doctor advised me that one of my legs is shorter than the other. He did say, well, actually, if you really tried hard, you could probably do it, but I'm a lazy bastard.
So we're saying lie.
Your team says lie. OK. Lee, are you telling the truth or are you telling us a lie?
It is, in fact, true.
Told you!
Yes, it's true. Lee did train for last year's Paris Marathon, but pulled out when a doctor advised him that one of his legs is shorter than the other. Actually, I have completely the opposite problem. One of my legs is longer than the other.
There we go. I, of course, got a grade A degree in geography.
What did you say?
You know what I said. I said it wrong. Just read it out.
For 6 months, I wrote horoscopes for a women's magazine.
There we are. Lee.
Right. What was the women's magazine? Got him at hurdle number 1.
Top Santé.
What? What women's magazine is that?
That's a magazine, definitely.
Have you heard of Top Santé?
No, it's like a Christmas mag. What is it?
You not heard of it?
Never.
Top
Have you heard of it, Richard?
No.
Have you heard of it, David?
Oh, yes.
There we are, thank
Yes.
goodness.
We've not heard of it, have we? If you'd have said...
Oh, it's not aimed at you, is it? Frankly.
Well, it depends how annoying he's being.
So what is Top Santé?
It's a sort of magazine that you see in dentists' waiting rooms.
How long ago was this?
I think about a year and a bit after I'd graduated. So,
The bleak years, as we call it.
Was it the only contribution you made to this august publication?
It was, yes.
Why did they think you were the man to do this job?
Well, a friend of mine...
Lying.
All right. worked for them, and they basically just, for 50 quid a week, they just needed, you know, some vague text that they wouldn't be held to, saying a period of transition is coming, but it's time not to end hope, but still to be wary. You know, that's it.
£50 a week for 6 months, once a week, doesn't know anything about star signs, nothing that would make them go, David's the man.
No,
because
I shouldn't be doing
you
it.
are quite articulate.
They should have got a qualified charlatan, but no.
So, Lee, it's time to take a guess. Is David telling us the truth, do you think, or could this be a lie?
Oh, it's a fib, he's lying.
All right, he said it with conviction.
Yes.
I'm saying he's lying. What do you say?
Sanjeev?
Yeah, I think he's a liar.
So you're saying it's a lie. David Mitchell, truth or lie?
It's a lie.
Oh, it was a lie. It was a humongous lie.
May I just say, in my defence, obviously I know nothing about horoscopes, but the thing that you most disbelieved, there's definitely a magazine, isn't there?
Yes.
Called Top
Yes.
Santé?
Yes, there is.
I thought I was sitting there, name a woman's magazine. I couldn't think of a thing. One popped into my head, and frankly, I want a medal.
I think you did very well. I once stole Catherine Zeta-Jones's dinner money.
Well, of course, you're both Welsh, so you presumably went to the same school.
Yes, applaud that thinly veiled racism.
What age were you?
I would have been school age, young, about, I don't know, 10.
Catherine Zeta-Jones is about... she's 40-odd.
Well, I'm 45.
Yeah,
she was younger than me at school. And is even younger now, apparently.
So you were 10?
You were 10.
And she was about 5. You stole a 5-year-old little girl's dinner money at the age of 10. You bastard!
No, I didn't steal it as such. It was a misunderstanding.
Right, what was the misunderstanding? How did her money end up in your hand?
Well, I arrived at school that day, and as I walked into the school, Catherine Zeta-Jones's mother saw me and said, I've forgotten to give Catherine her dinner money. Would you give her the dinner money? And gave the dinner money to me. And I forgot to give her the money, and I spent the money on sweets.
And what was this school?
It was called Swansea School.
Swansea? Swansea School?
It was called Dumbarton.
Oh, not Swansea then, Dumbarton.
In Swansea.
Oh, right.
Have you met her since?
Yes, I have, actually, yes.
And have you had a hilarious...
Oh, tell us about when you met her.
Here's your £3.
I'll tell you that when I met her, this is true. When I met her, which is not to say... Which is not to say that the other one is true. I met her at the BAFTAs when she won for Chicago, and she had an American accent. That's the story.
Oh, right. So give me my £3 back, Brydon.
So what are you going to say? Truth or lie?
Lie.
Lie. It's got to be a lie. Because,
say lie.
You're too an honest man not to have gone back and given it to us.
So, David's team.
I think it might be true.
I'll go with what Ruth says.
Yeah, all right. We'll say it's true.
You're saying it's true?
Yeah, yeah.
You say it's a lie, you say it's true. It is true. Yes, it's true. I did once steal Catherine Zeta-Jones's dinner money. It was a long time ago when we were kids. I now feel old age creeping up on me, as does Catherine, every morning when Michael fancies a cuddle. So, please welcome this week's special guest, Mark. Welcome, Mark. So first off, Patsy, what is Mark to you?
This is Mark, and he is currently teaching me to swim to overcome my fear of the water.
Right. Lee?
This is Mark, and he started the pub darts team that I play in, but I had to ask him to leave because he was so bad.
Right, so finally, Chris, your relationship with Mark.
This is Mark. He is my next-door neighbour. He lost a bet of £200 that In the Loop would win an Oscar, so I gave him my wheelbarrow.
Right, well, there we are. What could be simpler? Patsy's swimming teacher who cured her fear of water, Lee's sacked darts teammate, or Chris's neighbour who likes a bet. David's team, where would you like to start?
Darts. How can anyone be bad at darts?
What sort of standard of darts playing are you expecting in this team?
2 out of 3 darts in the board would have been good sufficient.
What did you say to him to check him out?
Patsy, can you be Mark?
Yeah.
This might involve acting, but just go with it. Mark?
Yeah.
That's you. Yeah, you're Mark.
Yeah.
You know this whole darts thing?
Yeah.
And you keep missing the board? Mark, look at me when I'm talking to you, Mark. We don't like the fact that you keep trying to get the dog drunk. And also, we were going to have to let you go because, unfortunately, you keep missing the board.
I cannot imagine you would say that to him. There's not a chance you're going to say, listen, mate, you set up the darts team, but Big Lee Mack's in the room, get off.
Also, how seriously did you take this darts
I take
team?
darts very seriously.
Do you?
Ask me any checkout.
I don't know what that means.
All right, 151.
Oh, well, that's your classic treble 20, treble 17 tops.
Don't know whether that's true or not, but a couple. All right, then 164.
Oh, that'll be treble 20, treble 18 bull.
I
don't know how...
Bull. What's bull? 180.
You worked that out.
He's getting them right. He's getting the numbers.
Is he getting the numbers right? Right.
Just say 180 again, Joe.
180.
I feel like we've just engaged with foreplay.
I know.
She's missed 180. We're on for a good one tonight.
Wait till I get to 69.
Did he set up another team? Did he just walk away and say, I'll give up darts because Lee...
He struggled to set up the other team, apparently, because he was going round saying, I'd like to set up a darts team. Have you had any experience? Well, I just recently left one because I was thrown out because I was terrible.
Sorry, that's not the usual next question when somebody says, I'm thinking of setting up a darts team. Have you had any experience? You're either somebody interested in playing a bit of recreational darts or not. You're not going to be sort of go, have you had much experience? I don't know, I'm a busy man. I want to play in a high-level darts team.
It's a serious sport.
David, do you want to move on?
Yes, OK. Well, Chris, why did you feel the need, when your next-door neighbour had bet some money on a film you were involved in winning an Oscar, why did you think you needed to make up the loss for him with the gift of a wheelbarrow?
I live in a terrace house, and the houses next door to me are flats. It's a communal garden, and Mark is the only one who ever bothers to look after them. Mark's never seen the film, but he went to the bookies, put 200 quid on it, and lost it. In the conversation that we were discussing it came up that he needed a wheelbarrow, and I felt bad, because he'd sort of staked it because
So if you'd have said I could do with a leg over, you'd have said, well, there's me missus. You know what I mean? I feel really bad about the bet.
No, John. No, I wouldn't. I don't know how things work where you live, but wheelbarrows and women are not the same thing where I'm from.
You may well have given him the wheelbarrow to assist him in cleaning off the communal gardens, but surely you didn't give him the wheelbarrow as compensation for your film not winning the Oscar.
I'd sort of intended to offer that he might borrow it. It kind of got out of hand.
OK, now, Patsy, you have a fear of water, is that right?
I did.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you had this all your life, or was there some harrowing experience you could amuse people with?
Yeah, I think so, but I didn't really know that I had it.
Right.
How did you not know you were scared of what surrounds us?
Because I've always swam, but I just
You swam, but you didn't know you were shitting yourself.
But you wouldn't refuse to swim?
No, I swam.
So why
we had to swim when we were kids. We just used to get put in. It was freezing cold. Don't you remember when the teachers used to make you get in? And that was worse then, because it was freezing cold. Kids would be crying, swimming, but they did actually make you get in.
Sounds like you're talking about Dunkirk. So you already could swim before you encountered Mark to teach you to swim?
Yeah.
Right.
How was your first lesson? When Mark said, right, let's have a go at the water, and you did 20 lengths. What did he say after that?
I didn't do 20 lengths.
So you decided you're going to have some lessons in order to improve the efficiency of your swimming, and then you get into the water and you realise, oh, my God, I hate it here. This has been the problem. It wasn't the efficiency of my kicking and arms, it was that I hated it.
No, I just realised that I was actually quite scared of water. That's why I don't swim very well.
But you know
I don't breathe underwater.
None of us breathe underwater. I mean, that's a standard human thing.
No, you can breathe underwater.
No, you definitely can't.
This should have been left under water. This is basic stuff, telling them this. Just because I throw you out the darts team and you're looking for a new career, telling people they can breathe underwater.
Right, David. We need an answer.
Lee gives every impression of knowing a bit about darts, but
He
then
does.
I'm perhaps not the best person to scrutinise that.
He knows his darts, that doesn't mean that story's true.
I believe Chris, because of the wheelbarrow, or I believe Patsy, because Mark looks quite built.
So what are you going to say then, David? Who are you going to go for?
I'd go with Patsy.
Yeah, I
think Patsy, yeah.
So you're saying Patsy's swimming instructor. Mark, would you like to reveal your true identity?
I am Patsy's swimming instructor, and I helped her get over her fear of water.
So, Mark, the first thing I want to clear up is this thing of telling her that it is possible to breathe underwater.
That's not quite true. She does very good front crawl.
Really?
Good breathing technique, and breathes out underwater, doesn't breathe in.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I've had to prise open my bedroom door for the last 2 years, ever since the door handle fell off.
What do you use to prise open the door?
Just my fingernails. And you have to go to the top of the door jamb.
Is it an out or a... No,
It all depends which side.
Do you live on your own?
I can answer that.
I have a flatmate, but it's just my bedroom, yeah.
It's only you that has the inconvenience.
So you have to do...
I'm absolutely the only person who ever needs to get in or out.
He speaks to me with a stare, and I don't know...
That's just, you know,
Don't
a
say
look of
anything.
resignation.
Why haven't you just whipped out a knob and affixed it to the entrance?
Basically, it's not really... You can't just screw it back on because the holes that the screws...
The thread's gone.
That's it!
Keely, speaking as the only woman, in your single days before you settled down...
Oh, God.
And you'd have met David and you'd be getting on like a wildfire, and he said, well, why don't you come back to my... I know you don't like this shit. I know you don't like it. It's either this or Ronnie Corbett. Why don't you come back to my apartment and we could settle down and have a game of Boggle? So you go there, and he said, well, why don't we go upstairs? And you go upstairs and you get to the door and there's no handle or knob. Would that put you off?
This actually happened to me once.
David! You're a dark horse.
I don't remember.
I stayed over, and when I got up in the morning to leave, I couldn't get out. And I didn't know where I was.
You didn't know where you were?
Wow, really?
I had to ring the fire brigade.
I think I should say, at this point, this was not at my house.
And they had to come and put a ladder up to the window and give me a fireman's lift out.
Where was the man who you'd gone back with?
He'd gone to work.
He'd gone to work and locked you in for later.
Didn't know.
She'll keep till I get back. Wow. OK, what are you going to say, Lee?
I think it's a lie.
You think it's a lie?
It looks like a man that's got well-maintained doors.
Yeah.
I'll say it's a lie.
OK, then we'll say it's a lie.
You're saying it's a lie. David Mitchell, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
It is, in fact, true.
Yes, it's true. David has had to prise open his bedroom door for the last 2 years, ever since the door handle fell off.
I once lost a game of swing ball to a chimpanzee.
David's team.
OK,
Why were you with the chimpanzee?
I was visiting a zoo in South Africa, and the trick that the chimpanzee could do was play swing ball. And we all took it in turns to have a go, and I'd had a few to drink, and he beat me.
What time of day was this?
Time of day?
Yes,
Before the monkey's bedtime.
Are you refusing to answer?
I'm not refusing, but I'm thinking about it for a while, because I don't know if you mean South African time or English time. It's very similar, but I think there's an hour's difference. Do you mean the South African time?
I mean the South African local time.
The local time. I believe... sorry, you've thrown me a bit, because most times I tell people
Local time at the zoo on the occasion of your match.
I've been using this... I can't lie, over the years, I've been using this anecdote at the darts and things. Oh, did I ever tell you, lads, about the time I played swing ball with a chimpanzee? No one's ever said, what time of day was this? He threw me for a second. Most people go, chimpanzee swing ball? Tell us more, you interesting person.
I suppose what's different is that when you tell that as an anecdote in the pub, people go, it's polite to go along with the bullshit that Lee talks.
Why were you in South Africa?
Don't tell me what the time of day.
The time of day.
Make up a time of day.
I couldn't beat a chimpanzee at swim ball because I was drunk. How am I going to remember the time of day? I'm terrible at this, and this at only 2:45.
What I'm trying to get at is why were you going round a zoo pissed? It's not a usual post-pub trip. Let's have a few jars. I'll tell you what, I fancy a trip round the zoo. Around about 1 in the morning, they get the chimp out, and the chimp takes people on a swing ball. The chimp likes nothing more than a load of pissed contestants.
Yeah, well, we don't all go to the British Museum for stag weekends.
But zoos aren't open after the pub.
No, we went. It was afternoon. You know, we've been drinking since the morning.
You'd had a boozy lunch.
We'd had a boozy morning. We started at 11. Arrest me.
Right.
Why didn't you go and see, like, some strippers? Wouldn't a load of men go,
we were that drunk, we thought we were.
We thought that was a pole.
We thought, this is the rubbish pole dancing club. That little pole dance hasn't got any tits, she hasn't shaved for ages. It was awful. Then someone said, no, it's a swing ball playing chimpanzee. Hey, man, is it your better than we thought? I wonder why she wasn't letting me put 10 quid in her bra.
David, before someone phones the RSPCA...
It was a consenting chimpanzee. It wasn't
I don't
forced.
think he'd said, look, I quite like it here at the zoo, but really what would make it peachy is if I could take on some of the visitors, ideally at swing ball, badminton at a push. I don't think that happened.
Well, he had no choice.
He had no choice. That's my point. Right. Is it the truth or is it a lie?
I thought it was a lie. Right. But it seems the sort of thing he'd do.
I think it's a lie, but I'm happy to be...
Yeah, I'll go with lie.
We'll go with lie.
We all say it's a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Lee, truth or lie?
It is, in fact, a lie.
Yes, it is a lie. Lee has never lost a game of swing ball to a chimpanzee. For the record, it was Scrabble.
OK. As a child, I had a special way of communicating with Captain Kirk during Star Trek episodes.
True. On we go.
What do you reckon?
And that special way was?
I had two ways of communicating with Captain Kirk. One was with a little calculator that, when you it had a sort of leatherette case, and when you flipped it open, it was, to my child's eyes, uncannily identical to a Star Trek communicator of the old sort. We're talking pre-nipple punch.
Did it do this, David?
It's more sort of.
Yeah, no. It would open with, it would go, and then it would go, and you press the button, Kirk to Enterprise, and it would go...
Oh, yes, that's the secondary noise.
Can I ask a question? Did you two ever have girlfriends?
Yeah.
No, I didn't, in all honesty. As a child, did you?
No.
No. It was a great noise, wasn't it?
Yeah. Very comforting.
It was, yeah.
That kept me company. Who needs people?
Exactly.
And what was the second way?
The second way was... I would sort of converse a bit with the characters on the screen while it was happening. So join in, slip in. Oh, that's good thoughts, Captain Kirk, etc. Don't interrupt me, Spock. I'm talking.
Do you know the characters, the famous Star Trek?
Yeah.
There's
Uhuru, what did she call
Uhuru.
Uhuru, yeah.
Sulu.
Chekhov.
Bones.
Bones, yes.
McCoy, actually, properly.
Rob, have you ever refereed anything before? You'd make a terrible referee at football. Why don't you try kicking it in the top like that?
Right, what are you going to say then, Lee? What do you think?
It's the bit that rings most true, actually, about all of this was when he went, I flipped it open. Because I remember those calculators. They used to have a little thing.
There's no doubt, yeah.
And did you do the old thing when it spells boobies when you turn it upside down? You didn't know what they were. OK, so...
Is David telling the truth, Lee? What do you reckon?
Right, OK. Do we believe David, as a small child, would be so lonely and sad that he would have to use his
I'll stop you there.
Okay.
Yes, we do, yeah.
You're saying it's true?
We're saying it's true.
You sure? OK. David, is it true or is it a lie?
I prefer the word imaginative to lonely, but yes, it's true.
Yes, it's true. As a child, David did have a special way of communicating with Captain Kirk during Star Trek episodes. David particularly liked Leonard Nimoy. That odd life form obsessed with logic would tune in each week to watch Mr. Spock.
Oh, yes.
Every year, I mark the anniversary of the death of my goldfish by pouring a shot of brandy into my pond.
Did this tradition predate the death of your goldfish, by any chance? No.
That was not the cause of the death.
Were there other fish that survived?
Yeah. I've got a pond in the garden.
Yes.
The pond has nothing to do with the death of the goldfish.
But how many fish were in the pond? Just one?
I'm not going to say this again, Bernard.
Was the goldfish in the pond when it died?
No.
Sorry, the goldfish was not a pond goldfish, it was a bowl goldfish, was it? Or a tank goldfish?
It was a tree goldfish, actually.
Where did he live?
The goldfish lived in a bowl. The goldfish bowl.
If the goldfish lived in a bowl...
Correct!
Why do you commemorate its death? By pouring brandy into an alternative goldfish habitat?
Because when the goldfish died, the bowl went.
Do any fish live in the pond?
Either curly, any fish in the pond, because if you pour brandy into a pond...
They're going to die as well.
They're going to die as well. So it's a legitimate question.
There was at no point, right, did the original fish die due to brandy being poured into...
But now...
There's fish in the pond, right, but the amount of brandy that I pour into the pond is like the weakest cordial you could ever drink.
Fish, Lee, fish are drinking all the time.
Yes. Not brandy!
Not alcohol,
Not
right? Brandy if it's in the bloody water.
Yes, but it's then not brandy, is it? Brandy is...
Well, it's brandy and water!
No, it's not.
It's a weak brandy and water.
No, yes, brandy diluted is no longer brandy.
So you're saying when you put soda in brandy, you'll make it no longer brandy?
Soda in brandy? You put soda in brandy,
Brandy and soda, yes.
What kind of 1970s porn world are you living in?
Just one last question. Why do you commemorate the death of a goldfish?
Right.
It doesn't matter the death of a goldfish.
Oh, it
Not
doesn't
many
matter to
people
you,
care.
you bitch.
No, it doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter to me, but I suspect it doesn't matter to you either.
Oh, and it doesn't matter to me, but it matters to the wife. The wife loved that goldfish like a husband.
And so she said, do me a favour, my beloved husband, show your respect for this fish I so loved by annually pouring a shot of brandy into the pond of these other fish who I secretly hate and wish to destroy.
So with that in mind, David, what are you going to say?
Bernard.
He's a liar.
Patrick?
It's true.
No, it's not. He's a liar.
You're saying it's a lie?
Yes.
OK, Lee, is it true what you've just told us, or is it a lie?
It's absolutely a lie.
Hugh is first.
For superstitious reasons, I have to touch the tip of my nose whenever I say the word France.
David's team.
Have you ever been to France?
Yes, I have been to France. It's a weird thing, but I have to do it. And I've done it since childhood.
What sparked that off?
Well, because when I was very little, I was quite scared. I was a very sort of worried child. And the thing that I was really worried about, more than anything else, was rabies.
Little chuckle, little nervous chuckle after rabies there. I was terribly worried about rabies.
Anyway. And you forget that England is it's an incredibly safe country where we don't have anything. But when you go to France, I don't have to do it immediately.
Is it all right to catch up at the end of the day?
When I was a child, because I was so scared of rabies, and we used to go to France quite often, I thought that it would kind of ward off rabid dogs. It's one of those sort of weird childhood...
How did you learn about rabies as a child, then?
The hard way.
I learned a lot about rabies, or as the French, and if I say French, I don't have to do it. If I say France, I do have to do it. But what the French call la rage, which is rabies, and I genuinely thought it would ward off, it would give me good luck. Because I'm slightly superstitious, that's all.
So, what do you think? Truth or lie?
Well, it's possible, but unlikely. I do think the one time you said France and forgot to touch your nose...
But that's because I'm an adult, and I don't...
I don't think it's plausible at all, actually. It sounds absolutely ludicrous, and I can't imagine anybody wanting to do it.
We're not going to ask you to mark him, by the way. We're not going to ask you to hold up a number.
You think a lie?
I think it's a lie.
You're saying it's a lie?
We're saying it's a lie.
OK, Hugh Dennis. Were you telling the truth or telling a lie?
I was telling a lie.
Yeah!
I once read an entire news bulletin with 1 foot in a bucket of iced water.
David?
Right. I'm assuming some sort of injury.
Yes, I had sprained my ankle.
By, what, reading a difficult sentence?
I'd raced in a triathlon the day before,
right.
and I'd come a bit of a cropper.
So the next day it was it was very, very swollen. So we tried putting it up, but of course that didn't really look that good.
Yeah.
On the news, it would reading the news.
Looks too casual, doesn't it?
We came up with a cunning plan to have a bucket of ice, but it was just, I was in such pain.
It's very odd that you didn't have someone that could do it for you. I mean, you know, you're allowed to take sick leave, surely, on an injury. Why?
Not when you freelance. No, because I went in, obviously I wanted to work. If I didn't work, then that's me, I don't get paid. So
someone else gets in there, eh?
Yeah.
Bloody Hugh Edwards. He'd have been in like a shot, wouldn't he? Terrible news, Kate sprained her ankle.
Finally, an impression with the right accent for you.
I don't know, I totally believe that.
I don't. The freelance thing.
What do you mean?
What do you mean free? Why can't you be freelance?
Oh, they're like a couple
Dude,
now, aren't
I mean,
they?
are you that Were you that desperate for the money?
Well, it was a 3-hour stint. It was on a Sunday morning, and you go in for 3 hours, and it's very, very difficult to get somebody else to cover.
When did you do the injury, actually?
On the Saturday.
At what time?
In the afternoon, like a 3 o'clock race.
Oh, I see. And what part of the race was it?
The running bit at the end.
Where did you come in the race?
Good Lord, it's like a slightly Camp Inspector Moose. Please take your guess. Is she telling the truth?
Yes.
Would you like to consult with your team?
What do you think?
I think it's probably true.
What do you think?
I think it's true, but...
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true.
So they're saying it's true. Kate Silverton, truth or lie?
It is a lie.